How you doing? My name is Christopher Brown, and you're now listening to my podcast, Sports Talk with Chris, and it's episode 23. This episode is all about starting lineups. Can I build the best starting lineup with these different situations being thrown at me? Now, there's more than one situation, so there's going to be more than one starting lineup. Now, the first situation I have is building the best starting lineup with only using 2 current All-Stars. So I'm using players that's playing in, the league right now. And I can only pick 2 All-Stars that played in the All-Star game in 2020. So here's my starting lineup. At point guard, I have LeBron. Shooting guard, Drew Holiday. Small forward, Tobias Harris. Power forward, Anthony Davis. And center, Brook Lopez. Now, of course I'm picking LeBron. No point guard had a better year than him. He's leading the league in assists. Still giving you 25 a night. Can take over a game whenever he needs to. Still one of the most dominant players in the league. He should be the MVP this year. Of course I'm going to have him as my point guard. At shooting guard, Drew Holiday. Now, Drew Holiday is the most underrated player in the league right now. By far. It's not even close. All the players know how good he is, but the media seems to be blind. Well, Drew Holiday is one of the best two-way players in this league right now. He can go out and clamp up your team's favorite point guard, then go give him 20 easily. And that's why he's on this list. I need somebody to guard the opposing team's point guard. Let's be honest. LeBron's not going to guard your Ja Morant, your Kyrie Irving, your Russell Westbrook. That's what Drew Holiday is for. He's going to go clamp them up. He's going to make, he's going to make it tough for them. Every shot, they're going to have to work for it. Then he's still going to give me 20. And he's the 2 guard, yes, but he's also a combo guard. If LeBron wants to play out the ball, Drew Holiday can be the playmaker for the team. Without a doubt. At small forward, I have Tobias Harris. Giving me 19 points. Shooting about 47% from the field. I can live with that. Average defender, he's not trash on defense like some of these players are. He can hold his own. And I know he's going to give me buckets. And he's shooting at a decent percentage. Power forward, Anthony Davis. One of the best, if not the best, big man in the league. I'm talking about power forwards and centers. Dominant defender. Dominant post player. Has the face-up game. Can shoot. Can create his own shot with the ball in his hands if he needs to. He has all the packages. All of them. Then at center, I have Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is the only player in the league right now that's getting about 2 blocks and hitting 2 threes. He's the only one. Not only am I getting a dominant defender, a dominant paint defender as well, I'm getting a shooter. So the floor is going to be spaced out. There's no holes in this starting lineup. My center not only is a great defender, but he's also a great shooter. So he's going to be out the paint. Leaving the paint wide open for Anthony Davis to do his thing. Leaving the paint wide open for, LeBron to attack the basket. This starting lineup has no holes. I got a point guard that's going to run the show. I got a 2 guard that's a dominant defender. I got a small forward that gets buckets. I got power forward that can do everything, but most importantly, he's a dominant defender. Then my center is a dominant defender as well. My team has no holes. Defense, we got that. The paint defense is on lock. It's on lock. Spacing is there. Everybody in this starting lineup can shoot. And they also can get buckets anywhere on the court. People forget that Brook Lopez used to bang on the block. Before this shooting stuff, before the league became a shooting league, when, teams were shooting less threes and was funneling everything still in the paint, Brook Lopez was dominant in the paint. Then he evolved and became a dominant shooter. He can still do his thing in the post. Come on, man. This lineup is versatile. I don't think anybody can beat that starting lineup. With those conditions, only using 2 All-Stars, that's the best lineup I feel like you can make. Now, the second lineup I'm going to be doing is the best starting 5 possible. I mean, the most unstoppable starting 5 you can think of. Here's mine. LeBron at the point. Like I said, vision out of this world. Out of this world. Can pass like magic. But he also is scoring on a high level. One of the best scorers to ever play in the game. On pace to be number 1 in career points. He can do both. He can do both. And in his prime, Dominant defender. Yeah, he's in year 17, but this is the best starting five you can think of. So everybody's in their prime. And when LeBron was in his prime, he had no holes. None. Number 2, Michael Jordan. I mean, come on now. Getting buckets, defense. He's the best at both. Well, yeah. You can say he's the best at both. One of the best at both. Because you can argue. But we're not even going to get into all that. Y'all know what Michael Jordan did. Y'all know what he brought to the table. And number 3, a.k.a. my small forward, I got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is, in my opinion, the best scorer to ever play in this game. By that, I mean he can literally score at an efficient rate anywhere on the court. Can pull up for 30, has the post game, has the mid-range game, can dominate in the paint as well. When it comes to scoring the ball, he literally has no flaws. He's also 7 foot, so he can still be a dominant defender. I mean, a 7 foot small forward. He's taller than most centers. He's going to hold his own on defense. You know he's giving you on offense. Power forward, I have Kevin Garnett. Dominant defender in his prime. Could also space the floor out. He had some post-up game, yes, but he had great face-up game. Come on now. Then at 5, I have Shaq. Y'all know what Shaq is. The dominant. Man, Shaq was the most dominant player to ever play in this game. Nobody is touching prime Shaq. Lakers Shaq? That big, that strong, that agile? Come on now. Listen to that starting 5 I had. Floor is going to be spaced out. Shaq is the only person that's going to be banging in the paint, and that's cool. Go ahead, Shaq. Ain't nobody stopping you. LeBron, again, running the show. Making all the right passes, scoring when necessary. You're going to look up, you're going to think LeBron didn't go off. He's still going to end up with 25 and 12 easily. Michael Jordan at shooting guard. He's taking a role, man. He's guarding. Whoever your best player is, he's guarding him. He's going to shut him down. And you know what he's going to give you on offense. Clutch buckets. Small forward, Kevin Durant. With this starting lineup, KD might be shooting 7 threes, 8 threes a night. And hitting 4 of them. Y'all know what KD bring, man. He's a bucket getter. Probably the best, in my opinion, the best to ever do it when it comes to getting buckets. Unguardable. Can score anywhere. My power forward, I got Kevin Garnett, man. Prime Kevin Garnett. You see what Giannis is doing. That's what KG was doing. Basically. Rebounding, 14. Points, almost 30. Defense, he had it all. Can guard guards, small forwards, big men. Doesn't matter. KG was it in his prime. And with this lineup, he's fitting perfect. Because he has the ability to hit the jump shot. He's not going to be in the paint all the time. Because I got the big fella down there in Shaq. Who's going to dominate the paint on both ends. Shaq might have like 30 and 15. Easily with this squad. I mean, you double Shaq and then he's kicking it out to all people that can shoot and get buckets. You want to do a pick and roll, switch on the pick and roll, and then put a guard on Shaq, put a small forward on Shaq? It's not going to work. That starting 5 right there, to me, is the most unstoppable starting 5 you could ever assemble. If you were wondering how to create a podcast like the one you're listening to now, I'm about to explain to you the best way to do so. And that is using a platform called Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to start a podcast. I'm going to explain to you why. First and foremost, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast so it can be heard on different platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from the podcast with no minimum learnership. It's everything you need to create a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. The next starting 5 I'm going to give you is underrated players. Now this starting 5 of underrated players I feel like can go out and dominate. Now point guard I have Gilbert Arenas, shooting guard Joe Dumars, small forward Sean Marion, power forward Chris Webber, and then center Moses Malone. Now Gilbert Arenas was somebody that can give you at least 25 points a night. shooting a high percentage from the three, high percentage from the mid-range, high percentage in the paint. He got buckets at an efficient level. That's what I want at my guard position. I want a guard that can take over. And that's what he does. He takes over, he gets hot. That's why they call him the hibachi. Because when he get hot, it's over. He cooked up. Now, at my shooting guard position, I have Joe Dumars. If y'all don't know who Joe Dumars is, he was a two-way player. Can give you about 18 at least. But he can also, lock somebody up. Now, Gilbert Arenas wasn't a defender. That's why I have Joe Dumars there. While Gilbert Arenas is getting buckets, Joe Dumars is shutting down the opposing team's best guard. So that guard thinks he's going to go back at Gilbert Arenas. He's in for a rude awakening because Joe Dumars is going to go at him. Even though he's undersized at 6'3", you'll never know it because he's going to put the clamps on you. Small forward, I got Sean Marion, another great defender. I mean, Sean Marion can literally guard any single position. In the era of great power forwards, when he had to play power forward because the Suns wanted to go small, he was still giving you 23 and 11. Still hitting threes at a high rate, getting blocks and steals. He was dominant, man. Dominant, but he slept on. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. That's why he's an underrated player, and that's why he's at my small forward position, because I know what he's going to bring every night. That's defense, that's rebounding, and that's offense. He's going to get his points, somewhere, whether it's off open threes, catch and shoot, whether it's off fast breaks, whether it's off lobs. I know he can give me 20 and 10 with at least 2 steals and almost 2 blocks a night. Power forward, I have Chris Webber. Chris Webber had the total package. He can score wherever. He can, score with the ball in his hands. Had the face-up game, had the post-up game. Can shoot. Also a very underrated passer. So I got another playmaker in my starting lineup. Can hold his own on defense. I mean, if Chris Webber was playing in the NBA right now, he'd be one of the best players in the league. Because like I said, on offense, he had no flaws. Can shoot the open jumper. Perfect. Pick and pops on him and Gilbert Arenas is about to be out of this world. Can dominate in the paint if need be. Can crash the boards if need be. Then at center, Moses Malone, RIP, rest in power. Double machine. Double machine. He's going to eat in the paint. Like I said, Chris Webber can shoot. Sean Marion can shoot. Joe Dumars can shoot. So if need be, I could just throw everything inside to the big man, Moses Malone, and watch him dominate. I cover everything I need to cover with this starting lineup. I got defenders. I have scorers. I have playmakers. There's no holes in this starting lineup. When it comes to underrated players, all these players I named are underrated. If you had to make a lineup with all the underrated players, I feel like that your lineup you're going to make is not going to be my lineup. I feel like that lineup I even made can go against, some of the top players of all time because I cover everything I need to cover. Plus, these dudes are underrated. They don't get the credit they deserve. They all great. Now, the last starting 5 I'm going to put together is starting 5 with players that never won a championship. Now, my starting 5 is AI, Reggie Miller, Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley, and Yao Ming. Now, when it comes to AI, y'all know he's a bucket getter. Bucket getter. Need I say more? He also can facilitate the ball. Had a season where he averaged at least 7 assists. So when it comes to the guard position, I know he's going to create offense. Shooting guard, I got Reggie Miller, one of the best shooters of all time. I have to say nothing else. He could do more than shoot, though. I mean, he can get buckets wherever. Not only the three-point, but the mid-range. Can slash to the paint when need be. He was just a smart basketball player that just so happened to be one of the best shooters of all time. Small forward, I got Dominique Wilkins. Human highlight reel. Watch your head, because he's dunking on anybody. But Dominique Wilkins was more than dunking, man. Averaging 25 year after year after year after year. A very consistent scorer. A great scorer. He's known for dunks, yes, but he can do way more than dunks. I mean, It could be a night where he don't dunk at all, still end up having 30. He don't get enough credit, he doesn't. Power forward, I got Charles Barkley. Y'all know what Charles Barkley did. You know what I'm saying? Double machine at 6, I think he's 6'4". He's no taller than 6'6". I personally think he's 6'4". He was playing at 6'4". Still a double machine though. Go against any big, he's killing them. Go against any power forward, they're going to be too small and too weak. Second jump out of this world. Dominant player. Center, Yao Ming. Tall as I don't know what. Who going to stop him? He's that tall. He still has a jump shot. He has a great touch. Offense, he had no limit. He can score in the paint. He can score with a jump shot. 7'7". Who's going to stop him? That 5 that I just named, it's going to be a lot of offense. Defense is going to be a question mark. But I feel like they can hold their own. But our offense is going to be hard to stop them. That's a lot of buckets going on right there. That's a lot of buckets. And it just so happens that, they're not going to have the paint be all clogged up. Yao Ming, like I said, had a jumper. Charles Barkley can shoot when need be. Dominique, he was just a bucket getter. Reggie Miller is a shooter, and AI is a bucket getter. That's a nice starting 5. That is a very nice starting 5. Thank you all for listening to the episode. If you feel like you can build a better starting lineup in one of those scenarios, let's talk about it. DM me your starting 5. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at sportsw_Chris. sportsw_Chris.